Hello and welcome to the Dentrepreneur Show.
Dr. D. Todd Russell here, Dentrepreneur. So one of the questions that I'm commonly asked is, why am I doing this? And it's pretty simple. I've got a ton of experience in the space, selling practices, buying practices, my own, others, being part of a roll-up of a dental service organization. I've been an associate. I've been a resident before that. So I've even been a partner in a dental practice. So I've got a plethora of experiences. But what I'm noticing, where the void is when we get to the end of our careers. So many of my colleagues were 5 days a week, and then they go to 4, and they go to 3, and then they think they're going to sell their practice, and they think it's worth what it used to do. Or, well, there's so many patients here, there's so much work here, I just haven't done it, so it's worth more. It's actually not. Unfortunately, it's the old adage, what have you done for me lately? And I need to drive that message out there to my colleagues. Consolidation is happening. Over 20% of dental practices, or close to 20% of dental practices, are now considered large groups or large groups. So the DSOs, and we know them nationwide as Dental Works and Aspen Dental, et cetera, et cetera. Heartland being the largest, they're buying up practices left and right. And the reason why they're able to do this, they're not only buying them up, but they're offering the top dollar, and we need to get the word out as to whether if that's what you want. If you want the most money out of a transaction with one of them, then I can provide you with information. I can show you what they're going to be looking for. So as we approach that time where you're ready to sell 3 years from now, 2 years, 5 years from now, we can sharpen our pencils and really dive in on the things that they're going to find important and you're going to drive for, and therefore you're going to get a better valuation and get more money out of the practice. If you're not looking to sell them, then what are things that are going to make it attractive to get in an associate or to transition to a potential partner? We need to dive into what your practice makeup is and where you plan to take it. It may be that you don't know. If you haven't saved for retirement, then the more money you can get out of the practice, the better. And that path is down the DSO path. Like them or not, that's going to be the best. If you're one of those doctors like myself, who's very conscientious of the people we care for, you want to make sure they're left in good hands and not in the doctor du jour mode, as I like to say. You know, the recurring, every time you go, it's a different doctor that you're seeing. Then we need to think about, if that's a main principle of yours, then we need to set your practice down a path to make sure that that's who we attract in the long run. There's not enough people out there doing that. So many of you just think, oh, I'm just going to show up one day and decide to sell, and I'll put it out there and someone will buy it. And they might. But if you haven't done these things ahead of time, if you haven't kept the practice at a high level, you're not going to get the value. And I'm hoping that through these podcasts, through these series of guests, through these series of teachings, I can show you how to get there. And finally, I'm self-serving. I've got Dentrepreneur is also a dental strategy company. So I'm going to be available to value your practice if that's what you want. You know, you'll be spending time with me, and we'll dive deeply into a lot of things, and we'll determine a strategic path for you. So anyhow, that's the why of having started Dentrepreneur. You know, if you are in the Cleveland market space, which is where I am, you know, my company is growing. We're looking for practices to partner with us. And I do say partner with us. I believe in people who join me, not just getting a big check and riding off into the sunset. I want you to be a part of this. So if you're thinking you want to practice 3 more years, but would like to cash out some of it now and then some of it later, my company is set up exactly for that. So anyhow, it's Dr. D. Todd Russell at Dentrepreneur, and I can be reached via email at dtoddrussellDDS@gmail.com. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. Please follow or subscribe to this show on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. If you would like further information or to meet with me one-on-one and discuss your practice, please feel free to contact me through my website, dentrepreneurllc.com. Many more exciting guests and topics are headed your way.